You want me to introduce it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll be like, hey, everybody, welcome to the first of many podcasts, according to my co-host, Mr. James Jackson.
What's going on, brother?
I am Jacob D'Antone, and we are here to unveil the On The Go. Right? We're doing On The Go, right?
On the go. Yep.
I don't know why it, got very unconfident right there.
It's kind of crazy how we're going through this. Because I had a complete structure.
Man,
on how
it never works out.
It never
works out like you think it's gonna go. I've been thinking about this thing for months. I've been thinking about topics. I've been thinking about rants I'll go on. I've been thinking about all kinds of stuff. But you put that microphone in front of your face and it goes away.
I went complete blank as
Yeah.
soon as she says how we're gonna open.
I didn't know we'd get this far.
I had no idea it was gonna be like this. So
I didn't know. Know it was gonna happen like this. All right.
me either.
Sorry. This will be the intro.
Oh, okay.
This is what's happening when the music's going on.
Yeah. This is perfect.
It's
Yeah,
like this
is perfect.
awkward ass.
Yeah, this is awkward. This is awkward all day. But at least we know going into our next few broadcasts, it will never be like this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And the sad part about it, we've done podcasts before.
Yeah, we have.
It's like,
But those were awkward too. Trying to get the intros in, or even
they were.
when we worked on trailers.
Mm-hmm.
It got kind of awkward. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. There's a lot more production than you would think.
Oh, yeah.
on in podcasts.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And then someone was asking me, "You guys gonna do a visual?" I'm like,
God, no.
You got some visual money?
No,
Absolutely not.
no, we're not.
No, not yet. Anyway.
No, yeah.
we're a long way.
Maybe in the future. Maybe
in the future.
if we can get an actual real studio, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know. I have a weird love-hate relationship with a video podcast because I get it from a marketing standpoint and I get it from an advertising standpoint because obviously no one's gonna watch your podcast, right? But you have when you have YouTube Reels and you have Facebook Reels and you have all these visual mediums, you have to market your show on there somehow.
Yeah, of course, without a doubt. Which I have ideas on how to do that too.
Yeah.
By us doing just audio, I still know how we can market it. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not gonna be easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
No.
You know, I know sometimes I get tongue tied when I talk.
Yeah, it happens. But that's the power of editing.
Yeah, that's the power of editing. Yeah.
That's what I can do.
Sometimes I might actually drop a bleep, bleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had bleeps. I need to upload some bleeps.
Oh,
That's what
man,
I
that'd
need
be
to do.
perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Do you have a rooster sound?
No, but I can get one.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Hold on. I can play some. I'll play some right now.
All right, play some.
I got crickets.
Ooh, I like that
Got
one.
some crickets.
Yeah.
Okay. What is... The monkey sounds I was experimenting with. For Joel's.
That would be perfect for his podcast.
It would be. I have some other monkeys in here too. Oh, I have laughs. I have some laugh
yeah.
tracks.
Well, the joke is not funny. That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, these are the standard ones.
Yeah, those are standard ones. Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta have that one on there. You gotta have a womp on there.
There's some more monkey sounds.
I never seen anyone really use the monkey sounds other than Joe Rogan. He's the only.
Does he use it?
Yeah.
Damn it! Now I don't want to do it.
Well, he only uses it for the intro.
Does he?
Yeah, he uses it for the intro. He doesn't really have a long intro.
Right.
No one really has a long intro when they have those different podcasts.
Right. No, the intros are normally, I would say a good intro is about 30-ish seconds. Or maybe really 10 to 15 so you can get right into it. But it depends on your intro, right? If we have a really well-produced intro, 30 seconds is fine or whatever. Or I've heard podcasts or shows where the intro is just a whole introduction. They got some voice actor to do a spiel. And those are really cool. I always like those.
Yeah.
So what does Joe Rogan do? He just has monkeys? I've never actually watched his podcast. So
I don't know. I think it's a part of his production, if I'm not mistaken. And all the time I watch one of his podcasts, I don't. Let's keep it track now. I don't watch his podcast like that. But when I saw the intro, it was a little monkey sound, and then boom, that's it. It starts off with the guy talking and whatever the case may be.
It's funny how Joe Rogan's show has become controversial over the last couple of years. Remember that whole what was it 2 years ago when they went through all his videos and pulled all the N-words he said?
Yeah.
When he was quoting them or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a resume builder.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That was the sole point of that. Was just like, hey, I have enough patience to go through hundreds of hours of footage, because his episodes are like what, 3 hours long? They're like radio shows, right?
At least 3 hours long.
Yeah. So that's impressive.
That's very impressive. I mean, I think it depends on what the guest he gets on.
Yeah.
And I think that as the landscape has changed now, he went towards a avenue that I don't want to go down.
Right.
Like he went towards that avenue of more of a political route, and also
right.
What's that word? I can't think of it. I'm blanking out.
Not controversy.
Not controversy, right. But it's conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
He loves a good conspiracy.
Remember when conspiracies were fun?
Oh yeah, they used to be real fun.
You know what I was thinking about the other day, or like yesterday, really, is that you don't hear about the Illuminati anymore.
Oh no, it's a small thing.
Like what happened to those guys? Like, you don't hear about them anymore. And now
all the time they pop up is on my Instagram.
Really, they like stuff still pops up about.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we need you to follow us.
What?
Yeah, it was like they was. Yeah, you got the little sign and there's like a whole bunch of black guys lined up.
What?
Yeah, a whole bunch of black guys lined up. We got the little eye and stuff right there. I was like, okay, I'll put you guys on black. Hey, that's how they look.
They got a social media campaign?
Like, yeah, they got a social media campaign. They pop up all the time on a request.
I don't hear. I've not heard about the Illuminati in forever, man.
Oh yeah,
I hear about the deep state. I always hear about the deep state, but not the Illuminati.
They still around.
No. My theory on the Illuminati is Scientology is the real Illuminati.
See, I know nothing about Illuminati. Like all I was told was they were about money exchange. I mean, I know I sound hella ignorant right now on this, but because I just don't really care. Because like I thought about Illuminati, but we rich people. I was like, okay, but I want to be rich too, so I guess I'm part of Illuminati.
Well, yeah, because it's like what, like all the celebrities are secretly a part of the Illuminati. Yeah, because like hand signals or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you take that basic information that only I know, by the way, I'm also as ignorant. I haven't studied the Illuminati. I don't really plan on it. So nobody fact check me. But if you look at Scientology, bunch of celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, there's normal people there too, but like it's really money based. Like you pay your way into it, right? Like there's levels. You pay so much to like get to the next level or whatever. So that's where my theory comes from. That's it. That's my only theory, is that like Scientology is a real life Illuminati.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I think you're right about that. You know, and I follow some of the Scientology stuff with Leah Remini. Yeah.
Have you seen her show?
I didn't see the show, but I saw like the clips of it, highlights of it,
No, it's hers. I haven't, I've only seen bits and pieces of her show too, because, my wife watched it like back in the day.
Yeah.
I think during the pandemic, it was like one of the mini binges.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like she gets into it on the show. Like she talks to like enforcers. She talks to all these different people.
She has a book too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, she got a book too. Best selling too.
Probably.
Yeah, that I do know. It was best selling book.
Yeah. I think it only ran for 3 seasons, but also I think that's all the material, right? Like you only have so many people you can talk to.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she's not talking to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, of course
she's still in the Illuminati, so why would he talk to? Like, the way they are is, like, once you leave the church, like...
Yeah, you're done.
They hate you.
Yeah, they hate you. You're excommunicated.
They're not only do they hate you, but they will harass you if they see you. Part of, like, the Scientology religion is to, like, harass you.
And that's what she said.
Yeah.
She said the same thing about that. Her and, what was the other girl? The other chick from Cheers.
Really? Cheers?
Yeah, she was in Scientology, too.
Oh, man. There's so many people in the Scientology.
Somebody in the comment section, just you know the name.
Yeah,
just put it in there.
Yeah, put it in there.
But yeah, she was also a part of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by all this stuff. But I don't really follow that on that side of the world when it comes to conspiracy theories, and that's what Joe Rogan does.
Yeah.
And look, it works for him.
Yeah.
This is a different avenue for everybody.
Right. I mean, it continues to work for him.
Yeah,
he's still. Does Spotify still pay him? Because I know.
Yes,
okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Because I think they were threatening to pull the money, but like he had just signed on to like that whole agreement. I think a year or two before. The controversy came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know if he was still getting paid or not.
Now I do know. Like recently, he saw the Barbie movie, and I was like,
"Did he talk about the Barbie movie?"
Well, he talked about it, but it was in a positive manner.
Oh, okay.
And Ben Shapiro...
That's refreshing.
Yeah, and Ben Shapiro was the one that was tearing it down. So that's when he was like, I saw nothing wrong with the damn movie.
No.
Which is kind of odd. If you're that type of person that don't listen to or don't look at this type of stuff, why are you watching this movie?
Yeah.
That's what Joe Rogan's take was.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Joe, you might be careful now. You might be, you're offending your base.
Yeah, you got a fan base. You got a new fan base.
You got
right?
Now.
Like you got a new fan base.
All right.
Now you might not like it too much.
You're starting to sound a little wokish. Yeah, I'm telling you. You got to be careful.
Oh my gosh, that term.
Yeah.
That term has changed.
Oh, I hate that word.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gotten real.
You want to know the sad part about it? Even Republicans hate it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they hated it from the beginning, right?
Yeah. But even they hate that word. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
Choose another word now.
Yeah. They adopted it and then they just ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's getting tiring.
Oh, it's been tired, man. I've been tired of that damn thing. But I mean, people love saying it. Like, because it fits their narrative.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about. I know we're going to get into politics when I start this podcast, but it just happened to go down that stream.
We're just talking, man. We're just talking. The original idea of this was I just want to talk.
Yeah.
Right?
So that was the original idea.
That's what we're doing. We're just kind of getting it back and forth. We're getting comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason why we chose On the Go, because I figure that everyone's going to listen to the podcast on the go.
Yeah. That's the best time to listen to a podcast.
Yeah. While you're working out, while you're driving.
Yeah. When you're cleaning your house.
Or
your apartment.
Anything.
Or your shed.
Yeah.
Or wherever.
You can listen to wherever you are.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
So that was the whole purpose of doing that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a better choice. So yeah.
On the go.
On the go.
Be on the go.
I'm curious to see how many people actually like this.
Right.
Actually like the name. Comment in the comment section if you like it. Yeah, it could change.
We could change it.
Yeah, it's fluid. Yeah, as they say, it's very, very fluid.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about podcasting, internet radio type of stuff is like we don't have to obey the laws of like the FCC. We don't have to like really worry about tight timing.
True.
You know, I mean there are optimal times for the length of a podcast, and there are obviously like if we cuss too much, we have to put explicit on our thing, and then like we won't get shared as much. Mm-hmm. So we're not really going to try to cuss.
Yeah,
right.
Of course
we're going to try to keep it clean, like PG-13.
Yeah, at least PG-13. A hard PG-13. Hard
PG-13. We're gonna show tasteful side boob in our podcast. The audio equivalent of tasteful side boob.
Every once in a while you might hear like a little, you might see like a little small little nip, right? Yeah. You might see a small little nip. Every 5 minutes, I'm just gonna put a soft moan in the audio. Yeah, that's perfect.
And then if you notice it, good for you. If you don't, it's fine. Most people will passively listen to like podcast and radio anyway. Yeah. But I do want to make the comment that the term podcast for me is, I don't know. I'm having a weird, it feels weird to say podcast now. You notice that?
Why you don't like saying it?
Because there's so many of them.
True.
You know what I mean? Like when you say you listen to radio, you always just say, oh, I was listening to the radio and like they were talking about this. You know, you don't refer to it as like, I was listening to a podcast on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also too, radio is starting to get phased out. Radio, it's been phased out actually. It
is, but that's where podcasting comes in, right? Because like now all the radio shows are podcasted. Even the shows that I have worked on and work on, they're podcasted, right?
True.
So they have a new life on the internet, but radio is still around. It's just becoming very automated.
Yeah, true.
Unless you're a talk show,
they don't have disc jockeys anymore.
Right, there's not many disc jockeys anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I think showing how the sausage is made. Most music stations, they're pre-recorded playlists.
All pre-recorded.
Like even like the midday guy isn't even there. He did that in the morning.
Yep.
Like he voiced all his lines and like all that's automated to like come up and play. Oh, yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that side of it is becoming kind of phased out, and it's a scary time to be in radio.
It is
in media in general, because like you have a lot of like evolving things, right? Like you have the AI coming up, and it's like, well, how is AI going to affect this industry?
Oh, this is already affecting it.
Yeah, right. It is,
especially with music.
Yeah, very much.
Like it's a mess. Like you had Drake. Part of his catalog, and like it was a song that came out, and everybody thought it was Drake's song. I was like, oh, that sounds like it's a pretty nice song. I'm not a big Drake fan or whatever, but I was like, oh, that's a nice little song. Found out it's not even him singing it. It's AI.
Damn. I've seen things about that, like the AI songs. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, or even with the music, the movie industry today.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of stuff coming out recently with the strike that companies were using AI to take their extras, right, and like kind of copy paste them in other shows and stuff. So,
which I think is a dumb idea, especially if you saw Indiana Jones.
I have not seen that movie.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Was it?
There was one scene in there where I don't know whether they supposed to de-aging him or what. Like they AI'd his face was like.
Well, isn't he like he's de-aged the whole movie, right?
No, it was just the beginning of the film.
Oh, okay.
And spoiler alert! If you didn't see.
Oh no, I don't know why I was thinking.
I'm sorry. I mean, look, the movie didn't make no money. I don't think the people that listen to our podcast don't really care. So. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I don't think anyone cares. But they de-aged his face or whatever, and he had like an old voice on a young body.
Oh,
and it was so bad. It was so noticeably bad. So it's like, the AI. I don't think is a very good tool. I don't think it can be used. The thing about it is, if you're going, we've seen this world deal with Twitter and the internet.
Yeah.
Do you really want AI in the hands of us? Like, do you really want that?
Yeah.
No.
They're
going to do AI podcasting next.
You could.
You could.
I don't think you should.
No, man. I hopefully don't get to a point where AI starts taking over podcasting.
I mean, I don't think... It's weird, right? Because, like, I mean, people will use... Like, there will be an AI podcast. There will be if there's not already.
You're right.
I've heard the expression like, "Oh, don't be afraid of AI taking your job. Learn how to use AI so you can still keep your job. Using AI do."
I've heard that too.
You know,
I've heard that too. So
they
said the same thing about Detroit. Detroit looks horrible. Don't be afraid of the motor industry dying. So I was like, okay, use the motor industry. It's like, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, Detroit looks horrible. Now they're on the come up. They're coming back slowly, but. No, that city looks a mess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that also being said, someone also made the comment that AI isn't meant for the arts.
That's not.
Right? It's not.
No, it's not. We all know that.
It's meant for manual labor and actual work, and then we can be more free to create and do things that we want to do on our personal time.
But, man, it's never... You give a dangerous tool like that to a man, they're going to use it to their advantage. We already know that.
Exactly.
We already know how this goes. We've seen every movie. We've seen RoboCop. We've seen Terminator. We've seen all these movies.
Let's get back to our original point for this first opening episode. We were going to talk about content and podcasting.
And what we want to do going forward.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I do want to get back to my little...
your spiel about the podcast.
My spiel about I don't like saying podcast anymore. I understand podcasts are a thing. I listen to podcasts, but I'm getting to a point where I don't like saying the word podcast. You know what I mean?
I don't either.
It's like when you say it too much and it loses meaning. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like it. So for this, I want it to be a show. I told you that before.
On the Go show.
On the Go show. Well, we'll still refer to it as a podcast.
Yeah, I know, we're doing a show.
Yeah, but in my mind, we're producing a show. We're gonna have, we're gonna have segment transitions. We're gonna have sound effects. We're gonna have other things going on other than a conversation.
Yeah,
because that's what most podcasts are. Is just people
conversing back and back.
Yeah, it's the format is usually intro, chat, outro.
No doubt.
There are some that have really cool or segment transitions. Yeah. Segment breaks. That's what I want. I want
There's no mean selling no ads. I'm not a big fan of ads and pods. I think that's horrible.
If we get sponsored.
Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna turn down any sponsors. I'm sorry, you're right. I'm not gonna turn down any sponsors.
That's how you make your money.
It's it's like you don't want no sponsors. I just think how they go about it is terrible because you're messing up that,
Okay, so what? Give me an example of what kind of ad read you don't like in a podcast.
Okay, so
ad break.
So let's just say that we're doing we're having a great discussion. Then it stops in the middle. It stops. I don't like that. They have to do it.
I hate that.
And they have to do it. I understand.
Right.
but it's not a very, very good transition. I hate it. Right. I think it's terrible. But
I know what you mean. And some of that, is it their ads or is it just like generic ads?
No, it's their ads.
Their ads. Yeah. Okay.
Like it could be BetterHelp and stuff like that.
Yeah. So they'll be in the middle, like talking whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, BetterHelp, and blah 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 blah.
Now some of them know how to do it pretty good. They're like, hey, I gotta stop real quick, guys. Do this transition to it. Right. Some of them do. Some podcasters do it pretty good.
Right.
But for the most part, I was like, because it breaks up the viewing and the listening process. You know?
Right. Because I've heard some good ones and I've heard some bad ones. Like I know, like there's one I listened to where like in the middle of a word, the ad break just starts. And part of that is because depending on what distribution site you use, they give you an ad option. Yeah. But you could just upload the audio and they'll put the ads wherever they want. Like it generates it wherever. But you can go in and manually like actually insert it in certain places that you know it will work best. But like I can tell these guys, they just upload it and then it just, they put like they want 3 ads or whatever and they like put it in the middle. And then wherever the middle is, it just goes.
Well, you're supposed to put it in hotspots.
Right.
You're supposed to put it in those hotspots. Like let's just say if we're arguing and we argue about a certain topic. And you're about to say something really, really juicy. And like, boom, cut right there. And then ad break.
Right.
So it's supposed to be meant to be put in those type of spots. That's just me personally. That's just me. Now, if we get sponsored, I'm going to sound like the biggest hypocrite in the world. We're going to come back to this episode and like hey, remember this? Whole hypocrite. Yeah, you said this.
Remember you talking this?
So, I mean, look, it is what it is. But, just for me, I don't like it. I don't like ad breaks. But as far as your idea about podcasting goes and, wanting to be a show, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Thank you.
It's like kind of like those, I don't know if you're familiar with these old shows that came on the radio and your grandfather and elder parents will probably know about this stuff. It used to be comedy shows, come on. And it was on radio. And it was before TV, of course. Yeah. And they were great shows. Lucille Ball and Lucy used to do it all the time. And it was more comedy shows too, but they used to do it all the time and they had a ball with it. And they would read off this piece of paper and they had mics just like ours and tell jokes the entire time. So I actually like listening podcasts more like viewing podcasts anyway. Right. So, I kind of like that. I like the idea of doing a show.
I mean, I don't want to say like we're gonna set ourselves apart because like I'm sure there's plenty of
I'm pretty sure you're not the only one to have that idea.
No, of course not. But I don't know. I'm tired. I get tired of scrolling through reels and seeing people's like podcasts pop up, and it's always like the kind of the same format that I see. And it's also just they're all ads, right? They're all just advertisements. Which again, how else are you gonna like get yourself out there? It makes sense, but like. I don't know. Content and me right now have a love-hate relationship.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I think it's just getting it all blasted at you all the time because.
Yeah, that can happen. That can happen a lot. I mean, for me personally, I think I love it. I love it. I couldn't wait to do this podcast. When the first time we talked about it.
I'm excited too. Don't get me wrong.
I couldn't wait to talk about it. I was like, we didn't watch these other content creators. I'm like, I think I can do something better than this. And it's not coming from an arrogant standpoint, but it's just come from a standpoint that I know that we can do something better.
Right. But that I don't know. That also drives creation because it's like,
it definitely drives creation.
Because not only are you looking at something and you're like, oh, I can do that. You're also like, I can do that, and I might be able to do it better.
Yeah, just a tad bit.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. That's a good way to look at things. Yeah. Versus, oh, I want to do that. Yeah.
So how do you feel about celebrities that do podcasts? 'Cause I know you had a problem with that.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with it because, like, I'd be a little bit of a hypocrite, right? Because how I got into the podcast in general was Kevin Smith. Yep. I discovered Kevin Smith's movies, which is like Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma. Huge fan of all those. Discovered he had a podcast, and I got like real big.
Fat Man, right?
He has several, right? He has Fat Man on Batman, which is still going on. It's mainly like a YouTube show, and I used to listen to that a lot, but. I haven't in a very long time, but he had that. He had Smodcast, which was his original show, and that was really good. But then, he kind of got to the point where he was like releasing an episode like once a month, and now it's like once every 3 or 4 months. And now I think he has all of his stuff behind a paywall. Yeah. Like he has his own like Patreon type of thing set up.
Yeah, a lot of people doing a Patreon.
Yeah, or they're like their own website and their own like networks and all that stuff. But I used to listen to Smodcast a lot. I used to listen to Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, which was like, it started off as like a rehab podcast for Jason Mewes, and then it kind of just became like, you know, something bigger because Jason Mewes got clean and he got a wife and he got a kid and he had a second kid like a couple months ago. Yeah. And I think they still do it live, but I don't know if they regularly record it. But anyway, that's where I got like the bug to be like, oh, I'm going to do like podcasty type stuff. And then, what was your question? Sorry, I was on a roll, and then I was like, where's my point?
Oh man, this is great, boy. This is great content right here. I can't wait. Oh man,
you don't think awesome. I'm gonna edit all this?
You don't edit this. You kidding me? This is good stuff, man. This is good stuff.
Don't leave great. all the trash in
brain fart, and I love it. You had a complete brain fart. Like your brain had a diarrhea moment. What's your question?
No, I'm gonna make myself sound so eloquent. You won't even.
That was awesome, man. No, I mean, I was like, how do you feel about celebrities doing podcasts?
Okay, there we go. I was getting into my whole backstory for a second. Yeah, so I'd be a hypocrite, right? Because like, oh, Kevin Smith, really great podcast, but he's the only real celebrity that like I would listen to, and I don't anymore because, like I said, he put his stuff behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I just see more celebrities popping up with shows and stuff, and I'm just like, do I really want to watch Kevin Hart drink wine with Will Ferrell? You've seen that ad, right?
I have seen that.
It's like on Peacock, but I'm like, that's a podcast. That's not a show.
Yeah, it's not a podcast. Really a show.
Come on. I mean, it is a show, right? Because he's got more production value in it,
without a doubt.
But
it's just a funny show at times. Like, some celebrities I don't really care to to really see, but Will Ferrell was actually pretty good. I don't even like.
Well,
Will
they're
Ferrell
buddies though. They've done movies all the time.
I didn't like The Rock. I didn't like the one with The Rock. Cause I feel like there was like a lot of BS on that one.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's just you kissing somebody's behind type deal. Because if you know like the backstory behind all the Black Adam stuff, then you probably wouldn't be saying the stuff that you're saying. Because so that's how I didn't like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess celebrities feel like they want to control their narrative. Everyone wants to control their narrative. Athletes want to control their narrative. That's why they have podcasts.
Right.
And celebrities want to control their narrative against bloggers.
Right.
And, because you have podcasters, there are bloggers who spill these horrible rumors on these celebrities.
Yeah.
Which we will not be doing on this show.
No.
Let's get that out the way. Because I am not getting sued behind some BS rumors.
Yeah, I'd rather not get sued.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That's not happening. So if you're looking for that on this show, this is probably not the show for
We're not going to be the next TMZ.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, yeah, I understand why celebrities have it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it too.
Yeah.
Like I get also from an actor's standpoint, right? Like you're kind of like a contract worker, right? Like you only get paid when you do a job. So like that's when you do a movie, or like sometimes you do a commercial, or like if you got a podcast going on and you got a podcast with ads and revenues and like another revenue stream, it's more money coming in. And you already have the celebrity status, so it's easy to get like 1 million followers with your podcast.
Yeah, versus like somebody like me and you, who's got to work from ground up.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do horribly.
Yeah, we're gonna do horribly. Oh, without a doubt. Like this first podcast, I'm not looking for. We're gonna get at least about 5 views.
Yeah,
I'll say 5 views.
5.
I know 5 people I can count on.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I can see 5.
Yeah,
I got about 3 different apps, so that's 3 of the views right there.
I got one app.
Yeah,
maybe I might get Thread. I don't know.
Let's get all the podcasting apps and just download.
So I mean, I got that going, but yeah, I mean, I understand why they have it. I'm more into the comedian podcast. I like their like Sarah Silverman.
Yeah,
Whitney Cummings.
Oh yeah, she does have one, doesn't she?
I like their podcast.
Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. They have one together, and then I know Tom Segura has one with his wife.
Yeah,
who's also a comedian, I believe.
Dave Chappelle, whenever he decides he wants to do it, him and Mos Def and
Bill Burr
does have one too.
Yeah, but Bill Burr was the one I was.
Yeah, Bill Burr. He has one as well. Whenever he decides he wants to come out with it.
It's like what, the Monday podcast on a Thursday or whatever it's called?
Yeah. It's like these guys really don't have to do a podcast because they too busy doing comedian, doing the comedy stuff on the road.
Yeah. Well, for comedians, it's a good way to work out your bits.
Exactly.
Stuff, right? Like it's a good way to like brainstorm your skits.
But with actors, I feel like it's just a lot of grand gesturing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pandering.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, pandering on the back. Same thing goes for athletes. I know you don't follow sports that strongly, but they do podcasts to control their narrative because they get tired of the reporters reporting stuff that's not true.
Yeah.
But there's a downside to it. When you do these podcasts, you have to be careful because you're not being as truthful and forthcoming as you may think you are.
Yeah.
The reporters have a job to do, and the fans know BS when they hear it.
Yeah.
They just really do. So I understand everyone wants to control their narrative, but you just don't want it to be so saturated where the little man, like me and you, can't do a podcast.
Right.
And it's like, what do I have to listen to him for? I can listen to this person right here. He's much more famous with a whole production behind him.
Because it is difficult. Yeah. And I mean, it's even like that for like YouTube nowadays too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, YouTube used to be back in the day, man. It used to just be like raw.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, like some skit someone came up with. Now everything's like a big production.
Kids, man.
Yeah.
Kids listen to the stuff now. So it's like they have to change a lot of stuff to how they do things. You get demonetized a lot more now.
Yeah, that's why demonetization is so big now, right? Because you can't even look at captions on a video without the captions being coded. Yeah. I don't know, I saw some video earlier. This is going to sound like such an old person thing, but I saw some video earlier where they had to censor so much in the captions. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And it's like, because they gotta censor their language, even if it's not a swear word, certain buzzwords.
And it sucks. It sucks for people that worked hard on these podcasts and then they get their stuff demonetized. But then you got some a-hole who puts out some crap and nothing happens to them.
Right.
As a podcasters, these two podcasting guys, they can go out here and degrade women all day long and tell them to shut up. But you got two guys that have a great podcast where they review bad movie roasts, and they get demonetized.
Yeah,
and there's stuff, and they never know about it.
Yeah,
they'll never know about it. I was like, well, that sucks. That just really sucks. So
really, they don't find out about it.
They don't get a message until later.
Oh,
until later, I'm like, and it's a strong production behind their stuff too. When they do this, I'm like. And they work extremely hard on this.
Well, that's also where Patrons and stuff come in, right? Because that's the backup. It's okay, if we get demonetized, at least.
Well, yeah, and he was thinking about just going back to his website. Now they have their actual shows on Twitch, but they edit it out. They edit out a lot of the stuff that the common talk, like what me and you are doing right now. They edit that out and then they put it on YouTube, and that's how they do it. So. He has been thinking about doing it. I was like, yeah, that's a smart choice. This is a smart choice. A lot of people thinking about going to a regular app, their website, and just doing it from there. Because even Twitch is kind of getting weird now.
Is it really?
Yeah, Twitch is starting to act weird now. So
damn.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know people do have their my thing behind it is the average person can't pay for 10 websites. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
If everyone's website is $10 a month or whatever, I don't got $100 a month to pay for everybody. Now, I was having the same conversation with somebody recently, and what they told me they do for patrons and stuff, they cycle it, right? 1 month they'll pay for this guy's Patreon, the next month he'll pay for somebody else's. He just turns the cards on and off on the Patreon. I was like, oh, that's smart. That makes sense because I always wondered how can you subscribe to so many Patreons or how so many websites or whatever. It's oh no, you just when you want to listen to it, you just that's what you pay for that month, right? You just switch off.
I like that.
Yeah, that's smart.
That is very smart.
Yeah,
just bear with us, guys. It's gonna be a rough little journey, but but I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm very excited on this. Hopefully it works out. I'm not gonna stop this time because I did have a podcast at first. I had 2 podcasts. I had Sports Weekly and then. I think it was Football Weekly, if I'm not mistaken.
Football Weekly and Right Time, Right Place.
Right Time, Right Place.
I still got the audio. We can play it.
That's okay. That's okay. If you think this is cringy, you listen to those 2 podcasts, you'll be like, oh
man, it didn't sound that bad.
Okay. Teach his own.
You got to get used to hearing your own voice. That's the problem.
You know what? Now I have.
Yeah,
I have now. It's like I'm. You definitely have to get used to it because I can't keep hiding my voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if I stumble over my words. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's for.
That's what it's about.
I'm not Morgan Freeman on the mic. I'm not. I may look like him, but I'm not.
But I think that's it, huh? That's the first episode, I believe. Or you have any more you want to say about what to expect?
No. I think that's it.
I think we're good. I think we said everything we need to say. We rambled. We fell down a lot, but we made it through.
I don't know about fell down. We bust our ass. We got a couple scabs on this one, brother.
That'll be all right. It'll be all right. I'll fix it. I'll make it magic.
Yeah.
I'll make it sound good. But yeah, so that's
duct tape on it.
Do you want to close or you want me to close?
You can close.
All right. Well, this has been On the Go with Jacob and James. This is our like I said at the beginning, this was our inaugural.
Yeah, sure.
I gotta stop saying words. I gotta keep it simple.
You gotta stop saying those words you can't pronounce. Yeah.
This is our first attempt at the first episode, or our only attempt at the first episode. As James said, we will put all this up raw, unedited. No, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna make it sound good.
That's like coming out butt naked. It's like, no, put some drawers on, brother. Put some drawers on.
Anyway, this has been On the Go. Keep with us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Peace.
Before we get out of here, James, I want to remind everybody that we have an email.
Really?
Yeah, super important email. It's onthegopod2023@gmail.com. Or you can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio.
And you can find me on Instagram at James9794.
All right, we out.
Peace.